Earlier in the week, the Braves sent outfielder Nick Markakis to the Seattle Mariners in return for relief pitcher Nick Vincent, who will be serving as our closer as of right now, and then Chris Medlin is pushed back to the setup spot. The Braves also went and traded starting pitcher Jaime Garcia and minor league starting pitcher Daniel Winkler to the Houston Astros in return for up-and-coming outfielder Teoscar Hernandez, who will be immediately placed in the major leagues, and then a man who is on a one-year contract and utility infielder Marwin Gonzalez. So let's hop straight into this game against the D-backs. Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to SunTrust Park here in Atlanta, Georgia, home of the 44-45 Atlanta Braves, as they play host to the 46-44 Arizona Diamondbacks. Big sexy Bartolo Colon is on the mound for the Atlanta Braves, making his 16th start of the season. He's 4-2 so far in the year, with a 3.14 ERA in 71 innings. He's had a couple trips to the DL, but he's only missed one start on those couple trips to the DL. And he'll be starting off his day against the leadoff hitter in A.J. Pollock, the Connecticut-born outfielder, hitting .313, 16 home runs, leads the Diamondbacks, and he's in that leadoff spot with those 16 home runs. So here comes the first pitch, and it's taken for a ball inside half of the plate, so count runs 1-0, now runs 1-2 on Pollock. Colon turns, kicks, and fires. That's grounded up the middle, and a diving play from Gonzalez. Fires over to first, and they get Pollock on the scoop by Freeman. What a play by the newly acquired Marwin Gonzalez, who's playing second base this game, as Pollock is retired for out number 1. That'll bring up another outfielder, the right fielder, in David Peralta, who's hitting significantly worse on the road as compared to the home. Here comes 2-2 pitch. That is ground out to shortstop. Swanson fields, fires, and Peralta is retired easily for out number 2. So with that being said, the D-backs lineup is leadoff A.J. Pollock, right field David Peralta, in the free hole is the first baseman Paul Goldschmidt, third base Jake Lamb cleaning up, left field Yasmani Tomas, second base Brandon Drury, shortstop Ketel Marte, catching is Chris Herman, and then followed by the pitcher spot. So here comes Paul Goldschmidt, the always dangerous first baseman. Digs into the batter's box as Colon turns, kicks, and fires. That's going to be first pitch swinging. Grounded to Gonzalez, throw into the dirt a bit, but Freeman with the scoop, and that is out number 3. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Bartolo Colon. No hits, no runs here halfway through 1. Welcome back to the bottom half of the first inning here at SunTrust Park as Zack Greinke, the right-hander, is on the mound for the D-backs, making his 19th start of the season. He's got a 4-7 record and a sub-4 ERA at 3.92 in 108 innings. Not exactly an ERA you want to have from your ace with how much money they're paying him, but not the worst ERA you could have as Ender Inciarte digs into the box to lead things off. The left-handed center fielder, as here comes the pitch from Greinke. That is swung on and softly grounded at the shortstop. Marte fields, and that is thrown over to first base for out number 1. As the Braves lineup on the day is Ender Inciarte leading things off, followed by third base Adonis Garcia, first base Freddie Freeman, left field Kemp, second base Gonzalez, catching is John Ryan Murphy, shortstop Dansby Swanson, right field is the newly acquired Teoscar Hernandez, and then followed out by the pitcher spot. So here comes Adonis Garcia, who's cooled off a bit since his hot start to the season, only hitting .275 now. Still a pretty darn good season there. As the first pitch is taken for strike 1. Bit low and inside. Not to Garcia's taste there, as that is now a 2-2 count. As Greinke turns, slowly kicks, and fires. That's going to be swung on and popped up into shallow right field as Peralta's camped under that. And he retires it for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down in this bottom half of the first inning by Greinke, and now that brings up the leader in batting average in the National League, Freddie Freeman, who is having a dynamite of a season for this Atlanta Braves ball club. Digs in with an 0-1 count. Here comes the pitch. That is swung on and ripped into right field. That's going to hit off the top of the wall, off the brick. Fielded by Peralta. Freeman rounds first, heads into second. The slide is... he's in there. Safe, as the throw is just a bit late, as Freeman does his best to avoid the tag. So he's got himself a double, as that brings up Matt Kemp, the left fielder. Greinke sets and delivers. That's first pitch cut right through. for strike number 1. There you see Kemp's numbers, 300 average on the season, 15 bombs in that cleanup spot majorly. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That's swung on and grounded to third base, fielded by Lamb. He'll fire across the diamond, and Kemp is retired for out number 3. So not a 1-2-3 inning, but pretty much light work there for Greinke. 1 hit, nothing to show for. No hit, nothing to show for Arizona, as we are tied at 0 here at the end of 1. And we are back here in the bottom half of the 4th inning as Freddie Freeman digs into the batter's box here against Greinke. Still tied at 0 here. Is 2-2 count on Freeman. Here comes the pitch from Greinke. And that's way outside. That's ball 3. Count runs full here on Freeman. Greinke taking his time, slowly turns and fires. That's going to be a check swing. Did not go around Freddie Freeman. That's ball 4, so he'll take his base. So Freeman's on first base as Greinke walks the leadoff hitter in that inning. And here comes Matt Kemp, who's 0 for 1 so far in the day with a ground out to end the 1st inning. As Greinke sets, working from the stretch, here comes the pitch. First pitch is swung right through. Changeup dropped right out of the zone, or right onto the bottom of the zone. Dropped under his bat, I should say. So count runs 2-1. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be ripped to third base. Lamb fires over to second, and the throw drags Drury off the base. Kemp is safe at first, and Freeman safe at second. That's going to be an error on the throw from Jake Lamb, as everybody is safe, so still nobody out. Runners on first and second, as here's Marwin Gonzalez, who singled back in his previous at-bat in the 2nd inning. Digs in. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be ripped out to right field, but unfortunately hit right at David Peralta. Marwin Gonzalez was the one who hit it, I should say. So that is 1 down as the runners stay at first and second. Here comes the new catcher in John Ryan Murphy. 0 for 1 so far in the day. Digs in with a 1-1 count. The pitch, and that's going to be pulled foul into the seats for strike number 2 as the count runs 2-2 now on Murphy. Greinke looks down Freeman. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be ripped into right field, and it lands as it's going to go up against the wall. The runners stayed up, and they're in a bit of a confusion here. Nobody knows what's going on. Murphy's at second. Kemp's caught on a rundown between his own teammates, and some terrible base running here by the Braves. And Murphy and Kemp are standing on the bags themselves together, and then Murphy has to go back, and he's going to be tagged out, and just an awful display of base running there as it's now 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs as nobody scored on that hit from Murphy. And here comes the pitch to Swanson now after that confusion just happened. Count runs 2-0 Alan Swanson. He's got himself a hitter's count. As Greinke sets and delivers. And Swanson rips this one into center field. That's going to bring in Freeman. Kemp rounds third, heads home. He'll score these, and that's a 2 RBI double for Dansby Swanson. As despite J.R. Murphy's hit and then a complete lack of knowledge of how to run the bases, Swanson does drive in 2 as the Atlanta Braves take a 2-0 lead. And here's Teoscar Hernandez. As the first pitch taken for strike 1. Slider on the outside half, nicks the zone. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out back in the 2nd. 0-2 count on him. Greinke delivers. And that's taken for strike number 3. Backward strikeout on Teoscar Hernandez. Cannot pull the trigger on that changeup. So 5 hits for the Braves, 2 runs to show for it as they take a lead here at the end of 4. Welcome back to the top of the 8th inning here as Ketel Marte, the shortstop, digs in to face Bartolo Colon, who is still in the game, pitching a gem here, still 2-0. As the 0-2 pitch to Marte is whiffed through, and that's a fastball up and in. Colon, the old man, reaching back and finding some heat on that one to blow it past Marte. So 1 down as that brings up Chris Herman, the catcher. The 2-2 pitch to him is going to be grounded just past the gloves of Freeman and Gonzalez into right field. Hernandez gets that into the second base where Swanson is covering. But it's going to be a single as now Gregor Blanco comes in a pinch hit for the pitcher. First pitch to him is swung on and taken in left field. It'll land in front of Kemp, who fields it, gets it in quickly. That's a single for Gregor Blanco on the pinch hit opportunity, and runners on first and second now as Blanco is going to be pinch ran for by Jeremy Hazelbaker. And that's going to end Bartolo Colon's day. He'll give a tip of the cap, and Chris Medlin, who's been dropped down to the setup spot as Nick Vincent was acquired earlier in the week, as he's now the closer. As Medlin sets here with 1 out, runners on first and second. And that's going to be ball number 1 taken inside. Count runs 1-1 now on Pollock. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be fouled off for strike number 2. So count runs 1-2 now as Medlin sets at the chest and delivers. That's going to be popped up into right field, or more like driven, as Hernandez has to range back, catches it at the track. Runner at second tags up to third. And the D-backs have runners on the corners now, but Hernandez does put that one away. And it is now 2 down as Nick Ahmed's going to come into pinch run over on third base. And David Peralta steps into the batter's box. He's 1 for 3, the single back in the 4th. Medlin sets, delivers. First pitch taken for ball 1. Changeup just barely misses the zone. Medlin sets again. And there's a 2-0 count now on Peralta. He's got himself a count to work with as it runs 3-2 now, full count. Here comes the pitch. And that's going to be ball 4 as Peralta takes his base. Medlin's got himself a jam to work out of here. Bases loaded. 2 outs as here comes Paul Goldschmidt. First pitch to him is checked on, but it doesn't matter because it's a strike. So 0-1 count here to Goldschmidt. Medlin sets, kicks, and fires. That's a ground ball to third base. Garcia stabs it, fields, fires across the diamond, and they retire Goldschmidt. No runs come across despite getting bases loaded. It's still a 2-0 Atlanta lead here halfway through 8 as Medlin works out of the jam. And the new Braves closer, Nick Vincent, comes out of the bullpen here now that we are in the 9th inning, making his 19th appearance of the season. He's got 3 saves so far in the year, and he'll be facing the cleanup hitter in Jake Lamb, who's 0 for 3 to start off this 9th inning. So 1-0 count to Lamb. Here comes the pitch. Slider just misses the outside half, so count runs 2-2. Now 2-2 on Jake Lamb. Here comes the pitch. And that's whiffed through the changeup. Drops right out of the strike zone. Lamb looks silly on that one. He goes down swinging, so 1 down as that brings up Yasmani Tomas, the left fielder. The pitch from Vincent is checked on, but it's going to be taken for ball 1 as it just barely misses the zone. So here comes the 1-0 from Vincent. That's going to be ripped up into center field. Inciarte fields and does not get it in right away, but he does eventually get it in. Tomas has himself a single, and now that brings up Brandon Drury, the second baseman. Here comes the pitch to him, and that's taken right in the middle. Slider could have taken that pitch out, but he was taken first pitch. So 0-2 count now on Drury. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be a rip right past to Gonzalez. And there's a single for Drury as all of a sudden it's first and second here for the D-backs with 1 out. And here comes Ketel Marte, the shortstop. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Digs in with an 0-1 count against Vincent, who's got himself into a jam. The pitch is swung on and blooped into center field. Inciarte runs on it, throws to the plate. It is not in time as the runner does score. And it is now an RBI single for Ketel Marte, and it's a 1-run game. Chris Iannetta now catching in this game as he takes strike 1. He came in earlier for Herman. So 2-1 count now to Iannetta. Vincent sets and delivers. That's going to be swung on and popped up into right center field. Inciarte runs over. He's there to retire it, and they are not going to test his arm. So runners stay at first and second as now Daniel Descalso comes in to pinch hit for the pitcher's spot. With 2 outs, runners on first and second, a single would drive in the game-tying run. First pitch slider is strike 1. There you see Descalso's numbers, hitting .288, mainly as a bench player pinch hitter role. The 0-1 is swung through, two-seamer ranging away from him, so the 0-2 count. Vincent's got him where he wants him. Sets and fires. That's in the dirt, and the runners are moving. Murphy, throw over to third, is not in time as the runners both advance. And now it's second and third, and a single will definitely tie the game, might even give the D-backs the lead. The 1-2, and it's just barely a ball. Vincent wanted that call, but he did not get it, so now it's a 2-2 count. And here comes the pitch. And just barely a ball again, this time up in the zone. Count runs full on Descalso. He does have a free base over at first, though. Here comes the pitch. That's a ground ball to second. Gonzalez fields. He fires over to first, and that is the ball game. Nick Vincent with some ninth-inning drama, but he works out of it. Only gives up one run, and the Atlanta Braves have won this game over the Arizona Diamondbacks by a score of 2-1 here in Atlanta. Bartolo Colon gets himself player of the game honors as he pitched a gem. 7 1/3 strong, only gave up 5 hits, no runs, struck out 4. Nick Vincent gets his 4th save of the season, as he is now the Braves closer. Zach Greinke gets his 8th loss. He's now 4-8. Dansby Swanson was 2 for 3 with a triple, a RBI single as well that drove in 2 runs. Those are the only 2 runs of the game. And with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of Atlanta Braves Baseball. I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I'm saying goodbye.